Bolivians take over again. But this country's all changed. It used to be FARC taking Bolivian cocaine to Mexico. FARC moves out, some other guy moves in. Santa Blanca moves out, who comes next? I mean, shit. Santa Blanca has done a hell of a lot to build up the cocaine industry's infrastructure in this country, in this province. You've seen how much they invested in pyrolusite production alone. All these buildings, this equipment, even the logistical template, it's just going to be sitting there when the next cartel moves in.
Shut up, dude. You're making me feel all depressed and useless.
Okay, tell me if you've heard this one. A sailor sitting in a bar.
I've heard this one.
I don't give a shit. Anyway, this sailor's sitting in a bar and he leans over to the guy next to him and he says, "You want to hear a Marine joke?" And the guy next to him replies, "Before you tell the joke, you ought to know. I'm 6 feet tall, weigh 200 pounds, and I'm a Marine. The guy next to me is 6'2", weighs 225, and is also a Marine. And the guy next to him, he's 6'5", weighs 250, and is a Marine too." Now he says, "Do you still want to tell that joke?" The sailor thinks about it for a minute, then shakes his head. "Nah," he says, "I don't want to have to explain it 3 times. So these 2 Marines board a flight to Houston.
Marines and planes, this ought to be good.
No sooner had they settled down into their seats than an Army corporal comes down the aisle and took the seat next to them. So the corporal settles in, pulls off his boots, and gets comfortable. Now the 2 Marines take one look at this guy and decide they're going to have a little fun. After the plane's in the air, the Marine in the window seat turns to the corporal. "Hey buddy," he says, "you mind grabbing a drink for me?" "No problem," the Army guy says, and hops up to get a drink from the flight attendant. While he's gone, the Marine takes one of the corporal's boots and spits in it. That's just nasty. The corporal comes back with the Marine's drink. He's just getting comfortable again when the second Marine grins and says, "Hey man, that drink sure looks good. You mind getting one for me too?" And you know what? The corporal just grins. "You bet," he says, and hops right on up. As soon as he's gone, the Marine grabs the other boot and hawks a big old loogie right inside. The Marines sit back and enjoy their drinks now. A couple hours later, the bird touches down and the corporal pulls on his boots. Right away, he knows what's happened.